Diaspora UA welcomes you back to our channel. Today we have with us retired US Captain Gary Tabak, who is currently in Ukraine and already visited front lines. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you for inviting me. Hello, United States. I'm a captain, but I'm not an Army captain. I'm a real captain. I'm a U.S. Navy captain.
Yes,
Retired.
yes, all right. You have been in Ukraine for several weeks, for a month, with your mission, humanitarian mission, and already made several trips to the front lines, delivering supplies. And as you told us last time, Ukrainian army is very brave and heroic, but lack of military supply from US severely, it was severely delayed. Is there any changes since you talked to us months ago?
Well, regarding land lease, there is no change. Ukraine has received absolutely nothing on a land lease. And as we know, 60 days have passed, and the President Biden has not reported on the accomplishments and strategy and plans, future plans for land lease. So it's kind of quiet. It's kind of dead. My friends, what I've seen and what my friends tell me from the front, not much has changed. They haven't seen much more increase in heavy weaponry, so they can counter offense. They're still mostly in a defensive mode. Russians are regrouping, Russians are rearming, and they're trying to stretch it out to the winter time. And once the cold sets in, Europe may change its position, and the United States may change its position. So Ukrainians are trying to accomplish as much as possible by the time winter settles in, and without heavy equipment, without heavy fighting equipment, they're bleeding hard. I mean, they fight as hard as they can, but the price is very high. What I hear in the media and on the news a lot, but haven't seen, is that a lot more coming in. That the United States is going to be sending more heavy equipment. That Germany may send tanks, Leopards, speaking like Ukraine, Leopards, Leopards, and that the Ukrainian pilots are being trained to fly F-16s and F-15s and F-18s. I think that Ukrainians are a little bit not aware, or maybe they do it on purpose, that F-18 is aircraft that's used on our aircraft. Our aircraft carriers. It's a Navy plane, and the Ukrainians don't have an aircraft carrier so far. And F-15, I'm not sure, but F-16, again, they would have to fly it from Poland or Germany because the infrastructure is not here and it requires a long time to build that. So if that does arrive, if that does happen, but it's not going to happen this year. So what I think it is that Slovakia is handing over, supposedly, again, this is all safe for so far, it's not happening, but we hope that it will happen, that Slovakia is going to hand over a few MiGs over to Ukrainians, but those MiGs are modified MiGs. They're modified with our electronics and with our weapon systems. So I hope that the Ukrainian pilots are being trained, if it is happening, to operate our systems, our weapon systems on the MiGs, that they can fly, and they can fly them out of Ukraine. And that would definitely change the posture that Ukrainians are holding on to now. Once they have air cover and once they have superiority in the air. But the Russians are continuing to bombard the cities, and children and women and civilians are dying, and refugees and infrastructure is being destroyed. And we've seen the only thing that changed, that Ukrainians came to an agreement with by brokers, Turkey, Erdogan, and UN, that they will be able to take the grain out of Odessa ports. But the very next day, the Russians bombarded, and their support. So you can't make a deal with the alligator.
Of course, but as you mentioned, lack of supply. Also, 6 U.S. senator, Democrats and Republican, they've been investigating this severe delay for quite a while, since May, I believe, and some of them even visited Ukraine because they know they wanted to see the real situation there. U.S. Congresswoman Victoria Spartz also visited Ukraine, and they asking President Biden to multiple times to accelerate, to give them a plan. How is it going to be supplied? Because it's not common. It's just common in small quantity. And Biden administration, in meanwhile, not answering, but announcing every other week again, 100 millions of help to Ukraine, and American taxpayers think all this extra financial help necessary and being delivered. But in reality, even that help approved by Congress in May, 2 months ago, more than 2 months ago, it wasn't used, it wasn't delivered. So why do you think President Biden asking for more money if he did not use and did not release previous? What's your reaction on that?
I don't know. He's doing it for some political reasons. I don't know what Biden's administration is thinking of, what they're trying to accomplish. But it's clearly that they're slowing down the process. Maybe they don't want the Russians to lose the war very quickly or lose it at all. Maybe they want Ukrainians start to negotiate to stop the war where it is, and we have like a North and South Korea. But it is not North and South Korea. It's two different countries fighting with each other, and Ukrainians cannot give up any of their land and stuff like this because it's a Hitler agreements again. Give in a little bit. Putin is not going to stop. Russians are not going to stop. They only respect force and strength. So if Ukrainians give in and sit down and negotiate some kind of peace agreement with them or armistice agreement with them, the Russians will just continue, and it will weaken Ukraine. Everybody realizes that, and will strengthen Russia. And there's only one option for Ukrainians, is to win. But it doesn't get enough support from the United States, and the other countries, of course, are following the United States as a leading country. NATO not supplying enough. It's just not enough. It's not showing Putin that we're 100% totally behind Ukraine. Everything is being slowed down. So it is our job, yours and mine, and all the Americans who think that freedom and independence and the human rights are not just empty words, to continue to pressure our congressmen and senators, to pressure the White House to take action. Unfortunately, I think that the White House is not a friend of Ukraine. It's more of a friend of Russia, in my opinion. But American people are friends of Ukraine. And this is where we have a struggle in Congress, that we're forcing the people, and the White House that's resisting it. So we just got to continue and to push for it, because again, every day in Ukraine, children are dying, being killed by bombardment of missiles, terrorist attacks. Really, it's like terrorists. They're just firing at schools, at the hospitals, at the civilian population. They're firing their missiles at them, not hitting any kind of military objectives. And then not accomplishing any military objectives that way, except just terrorizing population.
I agree, and I see this bombing from different countries. It's not just from Russia or from Ukrainian territory. Today we had from Belarus. Rockets were launched from there, and they hit civilians also. I don't know how much casualties there are, but it's every day, and we can't. I can't watch it, and I think Congress should hold Biden's administration accountable and transparent with American people and Ukrainian.
Well, unfortunately, Congress is Democratic right now, so hopefully in November it will change. By January, February, hopefully it will change for Ukraine. But Ukraine has to survive until that time. And it's difficult. It's losing a lot of people. It's losing a lot of acceleration in this war.
Unfortunately, I think you're right, and nothing will change till the election, unfortunately.
Until then, a lot of Ukrainians will die.
Thank you for being with us, Captain Garey Tabak, and hope to see you back soon with better news.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Slava.
Героям слава.